This is how you have to solve it up, my dear friends. Here also what is going to be, with reference to the Battle of Karnal, consider the following statements. It was fought between the Mughal Empire and the Afghan Durrani Empire. It took place near Karnal in the present day Haryana. It marked a turning point in the decline of the Mughal Empire, and then it led to the rise of the Marathas as the dominant power in North India. Okay, so what do we understand from this? We are understanding that Battle of Karnal. Now, from the above statements, which of the following statements are correct? Only one, only two, only three, or all the four are correct? Which of the following are correct? Here what do we understand is, it was fought between Mughal Empire and Afghan Durrani Empire. Was it? No. Nadir fought it against the Mughals. So the first statement is incorrect itself. Okay. Then it took place near Karnal in the present day Haryana. Okay. Yes. So that is there. It marked a turning point in the decline of Mughal Empire and it led to the rise of Marathas. Did the Nadir's invasion led to the rise of Marathas as the dominant power in North India? No, it did not directly lead to the rise of Marathas as the dominant power. So this is also incorrect. Okay, here it marked a turning point in the decline of the Mughal Empire. So two options are correct, two options are incorrect. Alright, so only two are correct here. Okay, only two are correct here. Alright, now when we talk about the next question, when we talk about the next question, what is going to be there? Okay, just read it up, guys. Just read it up. So here what we can see is that, consider the following statements. The Indian Councils Act 1861, it introduced the concept of additional members for legislative purposes, and the Indian Councils Act 1892 reduced the number of additional members. Then Indian Councils Act of 1909 abolished the Executive Council. Okay, it abolished the Executive Council of the Governor General. How many of the above statements are correct? Now, such statements of modern Indian history, you can also refer to it from the context of what? From the context of the, from the context of the particular which is logically correct and which is logically incorrect. That is what you can generally solve these questions with. Okay, that is generally you can solve these questions with. Now here, what do you understand? The Indian Councils Act of 1861 introduced the concept of additional members for legislative purposes. Additional members for legislative purposes. Just think, after 1858, the Britishers had realized that they cannot rule India with, without the help of Indians. So they required the help of Indians. So that is why now what they did is that they decided that they would bring a new Councils Act, and in that Councils Act, they would introduce the Indians as a part. Okay, so 3 members they were brought in. So the first statement is correct. Then the Indian Councils Act 1892 reduced the number of additional members. So with the passing time, by 1892, Indian National Congress had already come and it was demanding more representation. Now when Indian National Congress is demanding more representation, would the Britishers have reduced the number of additional members or what? Obviously not, they would not have reduced it, they would have increased it, right? So second statement is incorrect, it is illogical. The Indian Council that abolished the Executive Council of the Governor General, would it have? No, it would have given more and more powers. It would have not abolished the Executive Council of Governor General. Why? Because Governor General had 2 councils. Okay, that is, one was Legislative Council, one was Executive Council. Legislative Council was meant for what? For laws, lawmaking, and Executive Council was meant for the implementation of lawmaking, implementation of those laws. But by 1909, more and more Indians, they were demanding that Indians be associated with the Executive Council, not only legislative. So at that point of time, would the Britishers have eliminated this Executive Council or what? Obviously not. So that is why this is also incorrect. So here, from the correct one, only one, that is A, is going to be correct. Okay, we can understand that A is going to be correct. All right. Now, when we talk on the next question, okay, when we talk on the next question, what do you think is going to be the answer here? Okay, what do you think is going to be the answer here? Consider the following pairs, that is military reform measure and the year in which it was introduced. Amalgamation of East India Company's European forces with the Crown forces, fixing of European to Indian troop ratio in Bengal, and then declaration of martial races. How many of the following are correct? Now, as you can see, all of these three options that are given, they are generally considered to be in the post 1857 revolt. Okay, that means might be in the impact effect of 1857 revolt. What was the aftermath of the 1857 revolt? So, since 1858. Now, you are very much well aware that after that there was a reorganization of Indian military, wherein the troops they were reorganized in the ratio of 1:2 in Bengal, and where the rebellion was there, where the revolt was there. So that was in 1858, that is there. Then amalgamation of East India Company's European forces with Crown forces. So the Government of India Act came in 1858, right? That told that now Crown rule is going to be there and it abolished the company rule. So after 1858, would that amalgamation would have happened by 1870 or what? Obviously not. It would not have happened by 1870. 12 years later, it would have happened. What? No, it would have happened just within 2 to 3 years, right? So that is why the first statement is incorrect, because the company rule got abolished in 1858, and the amalgamation of the company rule, company soldiers with the Crown soldiers would happen in 1870. Is that logical or what? No. So that is why it is incorrect. So first is incorrect, second is correct. Declaration of martial races, was it officially mentioned or what, that you are martial race, you are non-martial race? Obviously not, because if it would have been officially declared, if the British government would have officially told that yes, these are martial races, these are non-martial races, so then it would have been an issue, right? But the Britishers did not. They tried to, you know, instill it indirectly. They did not officially tell it, so there was no declaration officially. So that is why the third statement is also correct. And here the option is only going to be second is correct. So that means only one is correct, that is A. A is the answer here. We know that. Now A is going to be the answer here. Okay, so that is going to be the next aspect. Alright, that is going to be the next aspect. Read the 32nd question, guys. Read the 32nd question.